Hey guys, we are back with some more New York Islanders franchise mode. And in this one, we are going to get the offseason underway fresh off of winning the Stanley Cup. As you can see, we won against the Dallas Stars in 5 games, and we could not be happier about it. As I believe that is this franchise's first Stanley Cup in how long? So before we get into all the offseason stuff, which, believe me, it's going to be a lot, as I do have our offseason mapped out here, and it's going to be quite the doozy. But first, we are going to get into the stats for the playoffs, as we did not check them in the last one, as we were celebrating our Stanley Cup victory. So, Oliver Wahlstrom, 32 points, 17 goals, 15 assists, won the Conn Smythe. Absolute beast. Matthew Barzal, 31 points, 25 assists as well. He could have made a strong argument for the Conn Smythe as well, but Oliver Wahlstrom, when it comes down to it, more goals is kind of the more favorable thing when you're taking into consideration the Conn Smythe, since goals are kind of a little bit harder to get than assists. So, and then you got Bennett Strite, who was nearly a point per game player there. So these three as well, Strite, Mueller, and Commodore, they had great playoffs as well. But they were just overshadowed by Oliver Wahlstrom and Matt Barzal. And then Riley with 16 points. He had a great playoff as well for a defenseman. Ragnarsson on the third line as well had a great playoff. Pretty much everybody had a great playoffs. Ottoson with 12 points in 20 games. Ho-Sang got injured for part of the playoffs, but had 9 points in 15 games. Brady Shea with 8 points. Pulock with 7. Taves with 5. Cizek with 5. Beauvillier with 4. Wild with 3 goals, Durett with 2 goals, Dobson with 2 points, Jankowski with 2, Pavelski did not play, Graba did not play, Dzingel nothing in 11 games. Plus minus, Riley had the highest plus minus, and with the lowest was Tim Cizek, Ryan Dzingel, so basically the fourth line. And then shots, Dzingel had 6, and in comparison, Oliver Wahlstrom had 119. In 23 games. Oh my goodness. That's averaging more than 5 shots per game. That is absolutely ridiculous. Shooting percentage, Ottoson with a 24.3, Strite with a 22.2 on 54 shots, Wahlstrom with a 14.3 on 119, and nothing else even compares to that at this point. Game-winning goals, Wahlstrom and Mueller both with 4. Power play goals, Mueller with 5. Power play points, Wahlstrom with 10. So Wahlstrom actually got quite a few assists there on the power play, it appears. And face-off percentage, let's see how we did there. Barzal was killing it. Commodore, same thing. He looked a lot more comfortable there in the playoffs. Beauvillier, he was good as well. Taves underperformed compared to where he usually is at. Same thing with Jankowski. Hits, we have Durett, the train, with 49 hits. Pulock with 43. Riley with 42. Mueller with 36 leads forwards, and then blocks, all the defensemen up here as usual, and then Taves led forwards with 10. Giveaways and takeaways. Barzal did great. Mueller did great. Ragnarsson did great. Commodore did good. Riley, good for a defenseman. Taves could have done better. Strike, I mean, okay. Not great, not bad. Ottoson, good. Durett, I mean, good. I mean, defenseman turnovers are going to happen more often than not. So, with that ratio for Durett, I really can't complain. Beauvillier could have done much better. Shea, again, defenseman, I don't really have too much of a problem with that ratio. Jankowski could have done better. Wild could have done a little better, for sure. Would like to see the ratio around 2-1. So he's close, but at a few more turnovers than I would have liked. Oliver Wahlstrom, I mean, with the amount of offense he produced, you can't complain about the amount of giveaways he had. He only had 10 giveaways compared to and we compare that to the amount of points he got. That you can't complain. So Tim Cizek could have done a little better. Ryan Pulock could have done a little better. Ho-Sang, okay. He was even on the takeaways and giveaways. Ryan Dzingel could have done better. Dobson could have done much better. 3-14 were the takeaways to giveaways. Any fights in the playoffs? No fights? All right. And goaltenders, let's see. Yep, John Gibson with a .914 save percentage, 16 wins in 23 games played, 1 shutout, 250 goals against average. And then Jason Hutchinson actually got in there for 2 games with a .941 save percentage. Although that was only over the course of 103 minutes, so it wasn't a full 2 games, but he still got in there for a solid chunk of time and shut the door when he was in there. So next up, we will check team stats for the playoffs, just to see where we were at compared to the rest of the league. So goals for per game, we were up there at first with 3.3 goals for per game. That is good. Goals against per game, we were 5th with 2.57. So even though we made it to the finals, even the Dallas Stars had less goals against than we did, but I guess that would have came in the previous rounds, just given that we beat them in 5 games. And pretty convincingly as well. Power play percentage, we are up there at the top of the league with a 34.4% power play in the playoffs. Unbelievable. All the previous years of failure on the power play, and we finally get it done this year. 34.4. That's actually filthy. And then penalty kill percentage is sitting at 85.1, so that's very respectable as well. So nothing to complain about. Obviously, we won the Stanley Cup. you know, I don't think you're complaining about anything, regardless of how bad anything looked on the team stats or the player stats. If you win the cup, you're not complaining at all. And then playoff tree, let's see. So we obviously beat the Dallas Stars in 5 games in the Stanley Cup Finals, but let's check the West out. So Dallas swept St. Louis, and then they beat San Jose in 6 games, and then they beat Vancouver in 5. So they actually had a pretty easy route to the Stanley Cup Final there in terms of the amount of games they played. But they basically, obviously, got destroyed in the Stanley Cup Finals by your New York Islanders. Yeah, there is the Year 6 playoff tree. And we will now check the awards. Haha, I remembered.
Haha, not so fast, eager McBeaver.
So, the excuse me? Did we not? Oh, right. Okay. It appears I have to remember another time because the awards have not been given out yet. So yeah, I was about to say, Edmonton Oilers? What? No, that was last year. So we have to simulate ahead a little bit here. So I guess we'll sim up to the draft here because there's not really much else between that and now. I mean, obviously there's retirements and stuff, but you know. Nothing I'm too concerned about because besides, I would say, Taves, there's no one who's, well, and Pavelski as well, there's no one who I would say is of retirement age on this team. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not expecting Taves to retire, but he might. He very well might at 36 years old. It's possible. So let's see the draft lottery. Minnesota gets the first overall pick. We're obviously nowhere in here. Central scouting, yeah, we'll view that later. Player retirement, let's see. Has Jonathan Taves retired? This will be very interesting. So, yes, he has. Oh my goodness. So at least we don't have to worry about releasing him now because he was on a 1-year deal. But Jonathan Taves has retired from the NHL. And yep, Joe Pavelski did as well. So there's some salary cap freed up, but unfortunately, that's just a fraction of the players who we're going to need to release this year because I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video, but we're in for probably the roughest offseason we've seen in quite a while on this channel. The roster turnover that we're going to have is absolutely insane. And Pavelski and Taves obviously are included in that, being retired now. So thank you for your 1 year here, Jonathan Taves, and thank you for your 2 years here, Joe Pavelski, if you want to say 2 years, considering he didn't play at all really this year. But yeah, they were both solid players for us, and we will now check the awards so that I don't forget. So let's get into it and see the rest of the awards. So obviously, their Stanley Cup champions are the New York Islanders. And the President's Trophy are the New York Islanders for the second year in a row. So we won the President's Trophy and the Stanley Cup. The Clarence Campbell Bowl, obviously, to the Dallas Stars. And your Prince of Wales Trophy champions, Eastern Conference champions, whatever you want to call them, your New York Islanders. Player awards, Jack Hughes gets the Art Ross on Buffalo. And he also wins the Hart. Norris goes to Seth Jones on LA. Lady Byng goes to Tyler Seguin. Calder goes to S. Bouchard on Vancouver. Conn Smythe goes to Oliver Wahlstrom, obviously. We've seen that already. Vezina goes to John Gibson. William M. Jennings goes to John Gibson as well. Masterton goes to Ben Sherratt on Nashville. Selke goes to Elias Peterson. And Lindsay goes to Matt Barzell. There you go. Maurice Richard, Jack Hughes. So, pretty good year for your New York Islanders. You know, we won the Stanley Cup. Got some hardware in there for our players. And now comes the draft. So, again, there's not really too much that we really need to do here in the draft except draft for value. So I'm just going to go right into it. I don't really need to check the draft class at this point because it is what it is. We're picking last anyway, I'm pretty sure, in the first round. So, yeah. I mean, we're getting what we're getting here. There's not too much value, I would imagine, for us. I mean, there might be some hidden gems here, but... Oh. Well, speaking of roster turnover... Valeri Volkov, the medium franchise goaltender. Well, I thought these went away for good here a while ago, because I haven't seen one of these in a while. But there we go. Medium franchise goaltender from Russia. Didn't play at all, it appears, this past year. So I'm not sure how the game determined that he was a medium franchise. I guess just random, I guess? Like... That's definitely not from playing, that's for sure, because he has no stats. But, oh man, okay, so I need to call a timeout here because we obviously have a decision to make. So, 7 minutes on the clock. And, man, that potential. I mean, I kind of want to take someone who's going, or who's supposed to go in the second round, since Volkov's going, like, in the hundreds here, but... That medium franchise, I don't know if I can ignore that. Even at this point in the draft when he's supposed to go like several rounds later, you know. I don't see too many good players out here though, is the thing. Reed Dainton is the one who I think I would go for first out of this group. Yeah, because there's all these players are top nines and bottom sixes and stuff. Top six defensemen. So Dainton is the first low elite we've seen here. And then Smithson... Medium top six in Semenov, and then Lotz with the medium top four defenseman. He's a gem as well. What's his grades are looking like a B minus, C minus, C, D, B minus, C minus. So not exactly the best I've ever seen. I mean, I kind of want to keep looking here, but man, that medium franchise goaltender. We may just have to take him here. I mean, then you got Carl Tanaka with a B, B minus C, C minus C, C. No weaknesses as well. So Carl Tanaka might actually be a pretty solid pick. Even though he's a low top six, he looks like he's closer to NHL ready than the majority of these guys who we've seen so far. Oh, Kolesnik. Medium elites. Oh. A minus for shooting, B minus for puck skills, B for senses, C minus for skating, B minus for physicality, and C for defense. Only weakness is his size. His strengths are goal scoring, offensive instincts, and a 200-foot game. He's 5'9", 179 left winger, Nikolai Kolesnik. Okay, so I'll remember that. And then McMillan, another medium elite. B minus, B minus, B minus, another goaltender elite as well. So, I mean, definitely no shortage of goaltender prospects in this draft. As we have a low top six here in Rob Sullivan. Yeah, not even going to consider him at this point. Because we've obviously seen better. Andrei Turkov, another, I was about to say goaltender, but no. We have a grinder, medium elite. C, C minus, C minus, E, B minus, D, C minus. I mean, just given the medium elite, he's good, but that medium franchise, man. That medium franchise. Jeez. Okay, so then you got Kolesnik, McMillan, Wong, and then there's Turkov as well. Come on, can I not pin him? Oh, I was pressing the wrong button. Then you got Dubinsky, Nicholson. All of these guys are medium elite. Or, well, and obviously medium franchise. So, who do I want to take first, though, is the question. There's the skater Kolesnik, who's ranked the highest out of all of these guys at 69. Left winger sniper. And he's got good grades, too. So, Kolesnik might not be bad for this point in the draft. Then you could take Volkov with the second round pick. Let me just plan this out here, because we could potentially get like 6 medium elites out of this draft, plus the franchise goaltender. So I want to plan this out right. I could still get Kolesnik if I took Volkov with this pick, but I might not be able to get McMillan with the third round pick. But if I take Kolesnik here and then McMillan, could I still get Volkov? I don't want to chance that. I definitely would not pass up on Volkov after the second round. So I can make one pick here with either Kolesnik or McMillan, and then Volkov. And then what I could do is try to trade for a second round pick, because we're going to have to unload some salary anyway. So Volkov's obviously not going to be ready for this year. He's got the C, D, B minus. But he does have that franchise potential. He'll probably be ready in 1 year, to be honest. Oh, this is a tough one. Tough decision. So out of all of these medium elites, I just want to make sure here, but I'm pretty sure that Kolesnik would be the most NHL ready out of all of these guys. So I think, yes, I'm going to take Kolesnik with this pick. And then with the next pick, we'll take Volkov. Because there's no way that any other team is going to take him. Oh, man, but I'm starting to have second thoughts in my head right now. Because with the way this game works, you never know. A team might just snag him at like 50. I could still get Kolesnik or McMillan in the second round, so I guess it doesn't matter who I take now, because I wasn't going to pass up on Volkov after the second round anyways. So, you know what? I'll just take Volkov now. I'll play it safe. Welcome to the New York Islanders, Valeri Volkov. And now what we can do is we can take Kolesnik, presuming he's still available, which he should be. Yes, he is. Okay, so good. We still have the option of Kolesnik and McMillan, but as I said, especially since we have taken the medium franchise goaltender, we don't necessarily need McMillan now, so we can now take Nikolai Kolesnik. Welcome to the New York Islanders. I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty straightforward draft, just because we already have a whole bunch of medium elites laid out pretty much for us in the later rounds, so there's no need to even worry about the other computers picking them up. And then you got Turkov, Wong, Dubinsky, and Nicholson. So out of these four, C, C minus, C minus, E, B minus, C minus, Wong, C, D, D, E minus, or E, D minus, D minus. So I like Turkov better than Wong. Dubinsky, C, D, D, E. Yeah, so I like, out of all these guys, Turkov definitely. Yep, welcome to the New York Islanders, Andrei Turkov. And on to the fourth round, I believe now, unless we don't have a fourth round pick. Yes, we do. So, I think this would be, yeah, there's still obviously medium elites here, but it's down to Dubinsky and Nicholson. So since we already have a franchise goaltender at this point and several medium elites, I think we're going to take Josiah Dubinsky here. Yep, there you go. Welcome to the New York Islanders, Josiah Dubinsky. And then going into the fifth round, I mean, I guess Nicholson would still be there at this point. But if he's not, okay, he's not. So that option's off the board. But now we have several low elites to choose from in Sedin, Kuta, and Graps. So let's see, Sedin. C, C minus, D, E, D minus, D minus. No strengths. Kuta, we don't even have an exact evaluation on his grades. Graps, ooh, A minus, B minus, D, B minus, C. Pretty good. I mean, he lacks agility and size, but he's got goal scoring, pro release, one-on-one skill. He's already got an A for shooting, A minus for puck skills. Christoph Graps. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take Graps. Welcome to the New York Islanders. All right, going into round number 6. Let's hope we can do something here with this pick. Maybe get a gem here. Obviously, no medium elites left at this point. I don't think I want Sedin or Kuta. Or if we do take them, then I at least want to evaluate our other options here. Burish, Mason Burish, B minus, C minus, C minus, D minus, C minus, C minus. Not terrible. And then you got a medium starter. We really don't need any more goaltenders at this point. At this point, it's down to the low elites in Sedin and Kuta. I mean, they're going pretty much back to back. They're ranked at 220 and 232. I mean, it's not like they're both going anyway. We could probably take both of them, to be honest, with the 6th and 7th round picks. C minus, C, C minus, D, E, D minus, D minus. Then Kuta. Yeah, we don't have an exact reading on him. So I'll just take Paris Sedin here. Welcome to the New York Islanders. And round number 7, here we go. We may as well take the other low elite, presuming he is still there, which he should be. So, yep, there you are. Welcome to the New York Islanders, Petri Kuta. So there you go. There are your year 6 New York Islanders draft picks in Volkov, Kolesnik, Turikov, Dubinsky, Graps, Sedin, and Kuta. Now, jeez. Here comes the fun part. This is, yeah. We're gonna have probably, I would say half our roster is gonna be on the way out here. And I hate to do that the year after, we win the Stanley Cup. But when you take a look at the contracts we have expiring, it's not pretty. It's really not. Yeah. Yeah. Cizek, Durat, Greiba, Ottoson, Ragnarsson, Streit, and Hutchinson. So, may as well start by cleaning out the garbage here, because they are not doing us any good at this point. So we'll check UFAs as well. I mean, we could use all the prospects we can get at this point, because, as I said, we're going to have a lot of roster turnover this year, and we need to replenish our prospect group. There you go, Rabbit, Tuomanen. Alright, that appears to be everybody, at least in terms of UFAs. For prospects, we'll check unsigned as well. I mean, there's the medium elites, all of them, and then of course Volkov, who, you know what, we'll just sign right now. Medium franchise. Yeah, we'll sign him right now. I mean, when he has the franchise tag, you gotta have to sign him, don't you? So, RFAs, yeah. Between all of these important RFAs, Cizek, Durat, Streit, Ottoson, Ragnarsson, and Hutchinson, I've already gone ahead and looked at how much each of them have wanted. And combined, they want $30 million. $30 million. We only have 17.5 in cap space. And the amount that they want might have changed by now. I just looked in, oh yeah, it's gone up. It's gone up since I last checked. When I had checked last, Streit only wanted 7.3. Now he wants 8.3. And Durat only wanted 7.5. Well, actually, Durat's about the same. 7.4. But I would imagine some of these other guys have gone up as well. Ragnarsson, 5.2. Jeez. Cizek, 3.4. Ottoson, have I checked Ottoson yet? I don't think so yet. 3.4, roughly. And then Hutchinson, 3.3. Yikes. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of turnover. It's going to be a lot of turnover this year. So first priority, obviously, is Durant and Strite. I want to get those guys signed before anybody else. So, wow. Do I just want to go for 8 years here with Durant? Honestly, that might not be a bad idea. Just because he's already an 89 overall. If you get him for 8 years, he only goes up by 1 mil. So you know what? Yeah. I'm going to do that for Durant. He's worth it. He is definitely worth it. So 8.2 for 8 years for Durant. And then for Strite, we'll go, yeah, I guess 8 years for 8.2. Why not? We'll get him on the same contract. So that already eats up 16.4 million. That's pretty much our entire cap space right there. And look at all the players we still have to sign. Yeah, there's no way we're avoiding any kind of turnover this year. It's going to be a lot. It will be. Advanced day. Let's see. Hopefully they sign. Yep. Oh, okay. Volkov accepted. Good. Peterson accepted. Prospects, Rabbit. Strite accepted. Durant accepted. Good. Those were the two we were worried about. But now as we check our cap space, 2.9 million. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah. UFAs. We're just going to release everybody here. Dowd, Dezingle. Thanks for your service, buddy, but yeah, we can't keep you. We can't keep Beauvillier. We can't keep Jankowski. So there you go. UFAs are gone, and we still have the 2.9 to deal with, because those contracts were not costing us any money at this point, but they would have, obviously, if we signed them. So Pouliot, Pekarainen, hopefully they want to stay on two-way deals. Yes, they do. Very nice. Because we're probably going to need them for this year. Pouliot actually wants a one-way deal, so I'll hold off on him. Gryba, oh my, why do you... I don't think I can sign Gryba for 3 mil. He doesn't have any NHL experience yet, and he's already asked for 3 mil. No, we can't afford that right now. With the roster turnover that we're having. Toibert, yeah, Toibert wants 3 million. Toibert and Gryba, yeah. I had high hopes for them, but we might have to be releasing them here, or trading them, I suppose. Czak, how much does he want? He wants 2.9. Well, he might even want more than 2.9. Yeah, he wants more than 2.9. That's just the most we can offer him, since that's how much we have at this point. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're gonna have to tender qualify offer all of these RFAs. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. We can't afford anyone besides Pekarainen or Pouliot. Every single one of these players wants more than what we have right now. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of turnover. A lot. We've already released... Pavelski and Taves have already retired. We've already released Beauvillier, Dezingle, and Jankowski. As I said, this is not going to be a fun offseason. It's really not. Yeah. Yep, this is where the contracts of Barzal and Mueller start to really hurt us. Yeah. So, at this point, we're going to need to tender qualify all of our RFAs. We have no other choice. We really have no other choice. And then we're going to have to sign them on July 1st after we've traded some cap to sign them. I mean, we're literally going to have to free up, I'm going to say 15 million. I'm going to say we're going to have to clear up at least 15 million for all of these guys. And I want to keep all of these guys as well. I mean, maybe not Toibert and Gryba just because they don't have any NHL experience. And I might keep Pouliot as well just because he only wants 1 million. And we're going to need depth players this year for sure. I want to keep Ragnarsson. I want to keep Ottoson. I want to keep Czak. And then I want to keep Hutchinson. Because they're all part of the future here. I think since we've already had so much turnover at forward. When you take a look at forwards here, Barzal, Mueller, Wallstrom, Strite, Hosang, Ragnarsson, Commodore, Ottoson, Czak. That's all that's left of our forward group. As I said, we just got rid of Beauvillier, Dezingle, Pavelski, Taves, and Jankowski. 5 out of our, 14 forwards? So we have 9 left. 9 left from that cup-winning roster. So we're going to have to potentially call up Pekka Räinen, Pouliot, Hines maybe even. Jeez. And then we haven't had any turnover on defense yet. I say yet, because we will. We definitely will. I don't want to trade Riley. I'm not trading Durat. I'm not trading Shea. I think the odd men, I should say here, are Ryan Pulock and Noah Dobson. Because as I said, we're going to have to clear out at least $15 million. At least. And I'm not trading any of these three here. So Pulock and Dobson and Wild are the only other options, and I don't think Wild is worth trading just because he only has 2.3 on his salary right now. And when you compare that to Pulock and Dobson are a lot, obviously. And they've both of them have done great things for this franchise. Everyone has at this point since we just won the Stanley Cup, but moves have to be made. They just have to be made. And I said it before, and I'll say it again, this is going to be a rough offseason. And we may even have to consider moving John Gibson. And I know I sound crazy when I say that, but when you take in consideration that Jason Hutchinson is now a starting goaltender as his role, he's an 82 overall currently, and he will more than likely jump over the offseason. He had a .933 save percentage last year in 19 games. So it's clear that he is able to play at the NHL level. But what is yet to be clear is that can he handle the NHL level as a starter? And that's what we're going to be banking on if we have to trade John Gibson, which we very well might have to. So, yeah, I guess I'll simulate up to the 30th here, because we can't do anything else at this point besides tender qualifying offers. So, or besides signing Pouliot, I guess we could sign Pouliot, because I was gonna sign him anyway, and he only wants $1 million, so we can afford that. We'll sign Pouliot here. $1 million, 1 year, one way. There you go. But that's it. That's all we can do. That's literally all we can do at this point until the 30th when we tender qualifying offers to everybody else. All right, here we go. Gryba, qualify. Teubert, qualify. Cizek, qualify. Ottoson, qualify. And Ragnarsson, qualify. And then, of course, Hutchinson as well, qualify. So all these guys are under our control now, going into July 1st. But the issue here is going to be figuring out who to trade. And as I said, I think it's going to be at least Dobson and Pulock, if not as well Gibson. So these are some huge moves here. These are some huge moves. So we'll just take a look at free agency, see what's available, but it's not like we have any cap available to sign anyone anyway. You got Rantanen, Scheifele, Pietrangelo, Ovechkin, Kane, Stone, Chabot, Barry, Meyer, Sanheim, Shattenkirk, Carlo. Ragnarsson, of course, is there, but he's an RFA. He's still under our control. So there's free agency, but we're not even looking at free agency at this point. We're focusing on trading Dobson, Pulock, and Gibson. And I'm not going to wait any longer than July 1st, honestly, because I do not want all of our RFAs to get tender qualifying offered by another team, and then we potentially can't afford that. Because, there's only so much time that you have to offer them after they get offered by another team. So, I'm not going to mess around here. We're going to look for a trade for, at the very least, Dobson and Pulock. And there's no avoiding it. There's really no avoiding. Because when you take a look at how many RFAs we have here, I mean, it's really not even funny. HL and then RFA. Look at this. Ottoson, RFA. Teubert, RFA. Ragnarsson, RFA, Cizek, RFA, Gryba, RFA. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then, of course, when you take a look at goaltenders as well, Hutchinson, RFA. I'm not going to pull the trigger on a trade right now in this episode, but I am going to go through potential options. just so that you guys can sort of get a feel for what we could potentially get for all these guys. And when I say all these guys, I mean Pulock and Dobson and potentially Gibson. So we'll take a look here, see what teams want Pulock and Dobson. So Anaheim wants them. Arizona, I would imagine most teams do. A lot of teams in this game look for top 4 defensemen quite often. Boston, Buffalo, Calgary, Carolina. Chicago does not. Colorado, Columbus, Dallas does not. Detroit wants him. Edmonton wants him. Florida wants him. LA does not. Minnesota wants him. Montreal wants him. Nashville wants him. Jersey does not. Rangers want him. Ottawa wants him. Philly wants him. Pittsburgh wants him. San Jose wants him. St. Louis wants him. Tampa does not. Toronto does. Vancouver wants him. Vegas doesn't. Capitals do. And the Jets do as well. So there's only a handful of teams that don't want Pulock or Dobson. So we could clearly get a lot from Pulock and Dobson. Now the question is going to be John Gibson. Should we have to trade him? What teams would be potentially interested in him? So his old team, Anaheim, not. Nope. Boston wants him. They are a rebuilder, though, it's worth noting. Nope. Calgary wants him. Nope. Chicago wants him. Nope. 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 Detroit wants him. Florida wants him. LA wants him. Jersey wants him. Rangers want him. San Jose wants him. Toronto wants him. Vegas wants him. And Winnipeg wants him. So I don't want to trade Gibson to a division rival. And for that matter, I don't want to trade Pulock or Dobson to a division rival either. I'd rather trade them all to the Western Conference. So Boston, I would say for Gibson, is out for me. Calgary could be an option. Chicago. Detroit, no, they're in the East now. Nope. LA could be an option. I mean, I'll trade these guys to the East if I have to, but just given the amount of options we have here with Gibson, Pulock, and Dobson, I would rather trade all of them to the West. Jersey, nope. Division rival, nope. Division rival. Maybe San Jose for Gibson. Preferably not. They're still in the East. Vegas, maybe. And then Winnipeg, maybe. So, a lot of options here. And I will not only do that, but we will go through the trade block as well. Just to get an idea of what all these teams are willing to give up. So, Klimchuk, Jamie Benn from Dallas, and Orlov as well. But you do have to be mindful of the cap. So, you know what? Why am I even doing this? We're trying to free up cap. We're mostly going to be going for draft picks here, boys, honestly. And then prospects. So I think it's going to come down to what teams are looking to win now. You know, who are willing to give up their draft picks and prospects for Gibson and Dobson and Pulock. That's what it's going to come down to. But again, I want to get your guys' feedback on that. I don't think there's any avoiding trading these guys at this point. It's just a matter of what kind of value would we be able to get for Dobson, Pulock, and Gibson. Let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one when we pull the trigger on these trades. See you guys then.